establishing a web presence or advertising online with Google AdWords, or using cloud-based applications like Google Apps for Business to realize efficiencies in their operations. This is very exciting because we know that the internet is going to contribute more and more to Canada's economic growth. I am happy to see that Duncan small businesses are ahead of the curve and ready to take advantage of growing opportunity online. I'd now like to take a moment to introduce Jean Crowder to say a few words. Ms. Crowder was first elected as a Member of Parliament for Nanaimo Cowichan in 2004 and re-elected in 2006, 2008, and 2011. Pretty impressive. She has strong roots in the community as she's a former municipal councillor for North Cowichan. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Jean Crowder.
I can't say enough about what an amazing place that we live in. And I think this award talks about the kinds of business communities that we have here. I already know, I said this in Ottawa, but I'll say it again, I already know how connected the riding of Nanaimo Cowichan is because I have some of the highest volume of traffic on the internet and email than other MPs have. But I think that what we have here is a business community that has taken the bit and just moved ahead in this modern way of doing business. We know that small and medium-sized businesses across this country are the ones that are creating the economy. We also know that they're also leading the leading edge in the new technologies. And I want to just talk really briefly about one company. We have a company in town, actually in beautiful Mill Bay, Bryan and Rempel, and they have 3 companies that they use on the internet. They have excellent resources, Webster Academy, and it's a longer name than that, but I won't say it all, and Interactions. And what Bryan and Bev did with their companies is that they reached out using this new technology, whether it was YouTube, whether it was internet. And if you haven't had a chance to go to the websites because they're easy to navigate and get around and take a look at what their products are and what services that they offer. But it's just one example right here in Duncan about the kinds of things that our businesses are doing. And I want to congratulate the Mayor and Council, the Chamber, and all the businesses here on being recognized for the kind of business climate that we've created right here in the Cowichan Valley.
Thank you very much, Mr. Waits. And now for the exciting part of the award. Mayor Kent, if I could invite you to come up here. So on behalf of Google Canada, we are proud to announce that Duncan has won this Google eTown Award for exceptional engagement in the digital economy. Mayor Kent, please accept this award on behalf of Duncan's local businesses. And there are examples all over this community. I design optometry, for example, right here in Duncan, started using AdWords and has seen a significant increase in their traffic to their website as a result. Bryan Rempel, as Ms. Crowder mentioned, started using online tools such as YouTube, which, as many of you may know, is owned by Google. So with us today is Bryan Rempel from Interactions, and Bryan has been using YouTube as an effective marketing tool for his business. And he works with other businesses in Duncan and the Cowichan Valley to use YouTube as an effective marketing tool. So we want to ask him a few questions to see how he got started and the work he's doing with the businesses in the community.
Thank you.
No problem.
Are we working?
Yeah, we're all good. So Bryan, let's start off speaking a little bit about your business and what you do and what Interactions is all about.
Interactions social media services follows the name that we created for the company, Interactions, because there is a huge misunderstanding or non-understanding of what becomes effective marketing, effective business promotion on the internet. And we hear a lot from a variety of voices. We hear from social media people, we hear from SEO companies, we hear from website developers, and they all have a specialization, which is all good and necessary. What we do at Interactions is kind of show how they demonstrate together, that they're very interactive, that they're pieces of an overall puzzle. And when you put those pieces of the puzzle together, they all work synergistically to give your business power and effectiveness online.
So how did you become experienced in YouTube? Like what kind of sparked your interest?
Well, as you mentioned, or somebody mentioned before, we actually own 2 other companies. One is an educational resource company where we sell products and DVDs, books, and so on in curriculum into the homeschool and the regular school markets, and we specialized in writing. That was a product-based business. Once we got going with that for a number of years, it's going back about 10 years now, we realized we could start teaching these classes ourselves. And we thought we'd follow a franchise model, and the model would be that we would help other people do what we were doing in other cities. The problem became logistics, and that was renting classrooms, getting teachers, doing all kinds of things, and we quickly converted over, once we had a software available to us, to an online school system. And so we actually started teaching students through online education. And today we have a number of teachers that teach for us across Canada. We have students from all over the world. In fact, we have a class ongoing right now in Singapore. And what we realized from the internet is that there is no geography when it comes to being online. So our next step then was to say, well, why don't we take what we're doing and turn those into products? And those products we labeled vid ebooks, not just ebooks, but vid ebooks. And these vid ebooks basically had 20 chapters in them, and they would each be teaching some content, but we embedded video into each chapter. So when they opened up the book, it's an online book, they could click on that, and bang, about a half-hour teaching that goes with each chapter. These became enormously successful, and in the process of doing that, we learned how to do video really well. And in fact, last year we did about 300 of these educational videos to go into books. We have 3 more books coming on this year. And we started to realize that that expertise was something that we could share with other businesses. Because one of the things that happened to us, virtually everything I did in education was, if it's good enough to teach, it's good enough to record. And so we started creating YouTube channels. And I gotta say, this is probably one of the most powerful marketing pieces that we have ever experienced. Putting your videos up on YouTube and having the backlink to your primary website. And as we started doing more and more of that, building video channels on YouTube, the backlinking power of that became absolutely enormous. So much so, and this may sound weird, we're all sitting in a room for a company that I started in June. But my goal in starting this company was to prove to myself that I could do it before I showed other companies how to do it. And I started a company from nothing, and within 1 month, we were on page 1, number 1 on Google searches. First on video, it's a lot easier to rank on video than it is to rank on a general search, but once you've got video, Google loves YouTube. I keep telling people this, Google loves YouTube because they own YouTube. And is that okay? That's okay. And then once I saw the results of being on YouTube, then it was easy to rank on other websites. And so just serendipitously, by meeting other business owners, other companies, they started to find out what we're doing, and it gave, again, it was kind of a snowball effect, and now we're working with almost a dozen companies, getting their websites optimized, helping them get a YouTube channel, and putting a YouTube bang right on the front page of their website. It's the most powerful thing you can do. In our business, it's called stickability. And what stickability means is how long does somebody stay on your web page? And Google measures this, and if your people are just flipping your page, not much stickability, but you put a video on there, a compelling video, and now you've got people for a period of time. Google loves this stuff. And maybe there's trade secrets here, is that okay?
It's all right.
And that's been our leverage. And then, of course, it opens up into social media and a whole bunch of other things. But that's really the long story of how we arrived at this whole concept of using YouTube as probably the most powerful marketing channel in existence today.
Well, we have some Google experts here, but it sounds like Bryan Rempel is a Google expert in the house. I think one of the things that you said that's really compelling is that you having a small business here has opened up your base to this global economy,
yes,
which is really what the power of the internet is all about. So you're clearly passionate about your community. So how has your YouTube channel helped grow other Cowichan Valley businesses?
This has been really fun. And is this working? Sure. This has been really fun because what I realized about YouTube is it really doesn't matter what you put out there, in some ways, because it drives business back to your website. And so what I started to do, this may sound weird, but it's very self-interest, self-promoting. I created a channel. You can go look at it on YouTube. It's called Cowichan Valley Life. And all I did, everywhere I go, I have my camera with me. And I started shooting videos. And if there's a grand opening, if there's something happening at a winery, if there's a wine tour, Bev and I just love this community because we just tour all over the place. And we love to, it's so hard to get everything in on the calendar. But we always have the camera with us. And then I shoot that, make that into a little YouTube video, pop that up. And that thing started to populate very nicely. And in my own self-interest, I put a paragraph in the description line about my company. That's it. But doing a series of things like that, I've really leveraged the power of YouTube and internet just in a kind of a non-profit way, non-business way, but it builds a reputation, builds character, builds credibility. From that, other businesses, one of them, I'll just mention, was a small startup company. In fact, we had the former president of the Mill Bay Garden Club. I was actually doing a thing for the Garden Club, filming their thing, and driving home, and all of a sudden I saw the grand opening of some business. And it was just right there at Mill Bay, so I would whip in there, get my camera out, and do a few videos on that. Put it up on YouTube, no charge anything. 2 days later, I go into the business and say, have you noticed that? Oh yeah, we're getting all kinds of people asking, what's your video? You got the grand opening video on there, it's all on YouTube. And people I said, oh, by the way, that was me, I did that. That became a very lucrative client for me. And they love what we're doing with them on video. It just brings, if you go to their website, West Coast Roar, and you'll see a dynamic site that's very captivating, very exciting. And that's really kind of snowballed into doing that for many other companies.
I think in our initial conversation, you said after a while you get more excited over someone else's success other than your own. So I think that what you're doing is really wonderful, and thank you so much for sharing your story with us today.
Thank you. It's been a real pleasure.
Yeah.